Hi everyone, Scott Player, PopCultFan here, and in this video, I want to talk about an upcoming biopic film about Sylvester Stallone in his younger days before he's cast as Rocky in the Rocky franchise. This is an upcoming biopic film coming out next year about Sylvester Stallone's journey to eventually getting the role as Rocky. So it's kind of like the Hitchcock movie that came out, I think that came out back in 2012, and also sort of like that Ben Affleck movie about the George Reeves Superman show. So it's in that kind of genre where it's a biopic about an actor playing a character, and it's titled I Play Rocky. As someone who has not a lot of exposure to this particular franchise, the Rocky franchise, the films that came out in the 70s and onward, and with the Creed films with Michael B. Jordan, I have a little bit of experience with these films because I think I saw maybe the first couple films with my dad when I was younger. So and I love Sylvester Stallone as an actor. I think he's an amazing actor. I loved him in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and they cast because this is a movie about Sylvester Stallone in his younger days, so they cast Anthony Ippolito as Sylvester Stallone, and he looks the role. I mean, he looks like a young Sylvester Stallone, so I like that casting there. And I like the premise because it's about it's a biopic film about an actor struggling on his journey to getting a role as this character in this boxing sports franchise that has been around since 1976, meaning that the original film came out in 1976, which means that next year we're getting that anniversary of the original Rocky film, and that's awesome. And also, because in this film they're depicting real people, right? They're being portrayed as characters in a film, and Anthony Ippolito's Sylvester Stallone in this film had a first wife, also based on a real person, who was married to Sylvester Stallone, and they cast AnnaSophia Robb as to play his wife, Sylvester Stallone's wife, in this film. And this is the first IP that in a while that's based on a pretty popular IP that AnnaSophia Robb is starring in, and supposedly this movie is coming out next year. I'm assuming that is filming at some point soon in Philadelphia, because I think most of the movies take place in Philadelphia and are filmed in Philadelphia, so I imagine that principal photography on this film will be starting rather soon. And like I said, this is a story, a premise that I am actually genuinely interested in because I love these kinds of biopic films. I think it's an interesting genre in which you're following a real-life person that's being played by another actor. It's kind of funny in that way, but also it's going to be a biopic drama. And similar to other movies that have come out recently, like the Elvis movie with Austin Butler, those kinds of films. I really do like that genre, and I think even though I'm not a huge Rocky fan, I like this premise, and I'm excited to see AnnaSophia Robb in this film. I think this will be a really interesting film, and I cannot wait for it. So I'm not sure what the actual release date is for next year, but if it is coming out next year, probably fall, I would assume, because I think the Creed films with Michael B. Jordan, those movies were also coming out I think late summer, early fall for the Creed films, and I have not seen those movies, but I've heard a lot about them. People praise those movies. Michael B. Jordan did so well in those movies, and I think I do want to check those movies out at some point soon, as well as the original series of Rocky films. And even though I'm not a huge fan of boxing, I do generally like that this kind of story lends itself to being something also very relatable for actors within Hollywood that struggle to get roles. And this is another aspect of the story for this that I'm very intrigued in. And, you know, AnnaSophia Robb, she's in it, so that's another thing. And yeah, also, you know, it's been a while since the Grosse Pointe show finale and my review for that. And, you know, I still think about her a lot, but, you know, I'm doing all right. And so, yeah, that should do it for my discussion of this upcoming film, I Play Rocky. And let me know your thoughts about this upcoming film and what you want to see out of it and how it will portray Sylvester Stallone's career getting the role of Rocky when the original Rocky film was in production. I really do like these kinds of films because it's about the making of a film that, you know, depicts how that process goes. And I've always been intrigued by that kind of thing because I love film and I love watching featurettes and all that kind of stuff from movies, and that genuinely intrigues me about this one. So yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And also, one last thing, I just finished with Pokemon Horizons, and I might do a video for that, but also I finally got to watching Gen V, and I'll definitely do a review for that. And this week is the season finale of Peacemaker Season 2, so there are some videos to look forward to from me for all that stuff. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.